Hello everyone, Luke here. Now before we get into the review, I just want to say a couple of little things. First of all, I have seen the My Hero Academia movie Heroes Rising. In my opinion, it was an alright movie. It's just it had a few little things that I was kind of like a bit off about, mainly due to the fact that it borrowed so many different elements that had already been established, and they had a massive game changer in the series that was retconned in 5 minutes basically. So yeah, that's my brief review of the movie. Not a bad movie, but at the same time it's nothing special. But if you're a My Hero Academia like hardcore fan, you will like it. And also the final battle was pretty damn epic, I must say that, I'll give it that. And also as well, like I said in my last video, I have joined a podcast called The Anime Burrito, which was made by Kid Otaku. I'm going to be part of the Dr. Stone discussion, so we're going to be discussing Dr. Stone when it comes out. I'll still do the reviews when they come out, but doing the Dr. Stone discussions will not only like broaden my horizons, but also give me a chance to actually talk with people about the chapters themselves and like actually discuss it and debate our own theories about what's actually going to happen. And also normally I have like the little thing down here where I have my laptop, but it's in front of me at the moment because, like I said, we are actually getting through this. We've got a builder coming tomorrow to actually have a look at this and see what can actually be done with it. But for now, let's just jump right into the review where I'm going to have my laptop right in front of me. Alright, so this will be chapter 168, titled Dad. No, my dad's not here. No, I'm kidding. This is a reference to Peter Atari himself and being sort of like the godlike figure that he claims himself to be in this world, and he's like reckoning like, I brought these children into this world, I have the right to do whatever I want them, I'm essentially their parent, I'm their dad. So that's basically what the title refers to, and he even says this in the chapter itself. But anyway, so the chapter starts off a little bit into the past where or no, it might actually start off right from when the last chapter left off, where we have Hayate, Nigel and Vincent actually hijacking the system, and we have like the two Adam clones like there sort of guarding them. As one demon goes, we found the location of the hijackers, of the ones hijacking the system, and Nigel and Hayate actually find out this, and they're like, damn it! And Hayate's like just actually freaking out himself. He's like, this is bad, we have to hide. But Vincent's like having none of that, because that's what I love about Vincent's character. It's like he's very loyal to Norman. He's like, he believes in Norman's cause, despite what Norman actually did. He still is willing to like believe him because Norman basically gave him a purpose in life, and he's like, even though I don't agree fully with what Norman's actually gone through, I'm still gonna follow him because he saved me, so I have to do the same for him to make sure that his mission succeeds. So it's like, not yet, a little longer. And he goes on to say, if we mess up, all of us will lose. The success of this mission rests on our shoulders. This is how important this role is. I'm going to accomplish my duties until I do that. But then, and then he's like, I am not leaving this area, and you can actually see the determination on his eyes. So like, even in the midst of like just a horrific situation, it's like, I don't care what happens to me. I don't care if I die. Basically, I just need to get this mission done so that Norman can actually achieve his goal of what he's actually wanted to set out to do. So as Vincent goes on and gives his declaration, we see the determination on his side, as we see Nigel getting even more determined as well based on his declaration, and we see Harity, while he is a little bit shaken up by this, he knows kind of like how important this mission is to everyone, so he's kind of like, I'm not entirely sure, but I'll go along with it anyway. So as Vincent continues to hack the system, we see the demons going, got it, what's going on? And Vincent's like, and the demon's like, the system's down. They won't be able to operate for a while. No, Hayate's saying this, the system's down, they won't, and Vincent's going, they won't be able to operate for a while, let's go. But as they try to go, we cut away from them, so we don't see them again until very much later in the chapter, where something bad happens to them, and it shows just how serious Peter Atari is as a villain. But anyway, we come back to the other kids as we see them going, the head honcho after is Peter Atari, as we see Emma, Ray and Norman just going over to the door that they assume that Peter Atari is in. So they're like, behind that door, on the other end, or on the other end of the hall, and they just blast their way through the door, guns pointing, but then as they're in the room, they discover something shocking. Peter is actually not there, and they're just like, what? No one's here, and they're like just scouring around to make sure, like, okay, is he actually tricking us? Is he not? What's actually going on here? And they're actually scouring around to make sure that he isn't actually in the room just hiding, which just leaves them even more confused. And it's probably the most confused I've actually seen. Not actually the most surprised I've seen Norman seeing arrive, because you just see like the look of dread on his face, like, oh shit. So as they're all looking around and trying to decipher what's actually going on here, as we see Ray's just like actually just pissed off at this point. It's like, we had a plan, it was going perfect, and that was just so completely ruined. Like, you just see the anger on his face. So as they're looking around, Norman's trying to relay to Vincent. He's like, Vincent, are you there? What's going on? Are you there? And we hear a voice that everybody just freezes at, and as they go, hey there, Norman. It's been a while, and Norman instantly, like, the expression on his face, like, holy shit, I know that voice. And obviously it's Peter Atari, and he's like, Peter Atari! And Peter's like, you've done pretty well for yourself. Decimating Lombardy, annihilating the Queen and the 5 regiment houses, disintegrated the Imperial rule. You infiltrated Gracefield smoothly too. Pretty impressive for a child raised to be food, but but the way he's saying it is just like completely condescending and completely like, yeah, you may have done all of that. Yeah, impressive, and I'm really surprised that you actually did that. But at the end of the day, you're still food, and you're still gonna be food. So you get this just the shit-eating grin of Peter Atari. It's like, yeah, that was pretty impressive, but you're still food, Norman. No matter what you do, you're still food. You're still the prey, and I'm still the predator, and there's nothing that's gonna change about that. Anyway, Peter goes on to say, but I'm not there. The footage you saw of me was a fake. Looks like we outwitted you. And again, you just see like the cocky son of a bitch face that Peter just has some of the most like, you just want to punch him in the face type faces type thing that he has. But anyway, I am not there. The footage you saw of me was fake. So basically denies him basically. Or, that footage you saw, that was an illusion. Kramer, all according to my plan, Norman. You thought you could outwit me, but I've outwitted you. So, we're even at this point. Also, something before we continue is that whilst Norman is giving like a serious, like, you son of a bitch face, and Ray's just like, I want to kill him face, Emma's giving off like one of the weirdest faces that I've ever seen her give off. It's, I don't know if you can... Oh, fucking hell. Sorry, guys. Let me bring down the lighting. There, that should be better. Oh, fuck. Oh, I don't know what... sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. But basically, her face is just like this, kind of like... Not really sad, but not really angry face. It's just like one of the weirdest faces. I mean, I tried to show you there, but I don't know exactly what was going on there, like why I couldn't actually show it. Just bear with me 1 second. Alright, guys. Yeah, you should be able to see it like that. Like, that face from Emma, that's got to be like one of the weirdest faces I've ever seen her make. Fucking hell, there's something... There's like a shadow. Where's it actually coming from? Just trying to think, where's that? It's that friggin' cobweb. I apologise about that, guys, but yeah, friggin' cobwebs everywhere. I can't wait until this room's redecorated so I can get rid of all the cobwebs in here and everything. But anyway, that's besides the point. So right, that's like one of the weirdest faces that Emma has like ever actually done here, and it's like, what the hell were they thinking? Okay, guys, before we continue, like after all that cobweb fiasco, I went and did like the next section, and didn't even realise that I was actually on standby. I was so invested in what's going on, I didn't actually realise that I was on standby. I'm sorry about that. So anyway, continuing on fully now, and I know it's got recorded because I can see record on it now. So anyway, continuing on. As Norman is getting pissed off with Peter, and he's like, "Where are Vincent and the others?" Peter shows that they are alive with him, as he shows that the two Adam clones, Nigel, Vincent, and Hayati, are tied up and surrounded by his subordinates, pointing guns at them in the same manner as he did at the beginning of the arc, where he had all those people lie down in front of him, ready to be executed on his command. And we see this going even further when we see Emma, Ray, and Norman get surrounded by two more of his subordinates, and we see four more subordinates surround Nigel, Sack, and Gillian. And Peter goes on to say, "Yes, that's precisely the situation. The five here are tied up with guns to their heads." And you know you've got a badass villain when they are threatening to kill children in their eyes, because in Peter's eyes they are children. They are just little ants that he could just squash out at any moment. And people on Twitter need to understand that just because this series is in Shonen Jump does not mean it's meant for kids. I mean, like, I wouldn't consider Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, what's another one? What's another one that's in Shonen Jump? That was in Shonen. Oh yeah, Undead Unluck. Like people were going crazy about Undead Unluck and Yuna and the spring and the hot springs and the Ghost Hot Springs, like the Ghost Hot Springs manga. They were complaining, "Oh, that's in a magazine for kids." I'm like, yes, the same magazine that has One Piece, where you have child endangerment, child neglect, child abuse, children having to dive into the corpses of their friends just to survive, and a child being hunted by the government because of their knowledge. They have Promised Neverland, where they have children being eaten by demons. Chainsaw Man speaks for itself, and Demon Slayer also speaks for itself, where you have a child who goes through so much torment just to save the life of his sister, who was turned into a demon herself. So yeah, clearly they're for kids themselves. Like, One Piece is clearly for little kids. Like the series where they'll kill kids if they have a bounty just for knowing too much knowledge. Yeah, people on Twitter can be stupid. So anyway, Peter goes on to say, "You lose. This game of tag is over. We're restoring the system right now. All the locks, including the storage room, are unlocked." As we see Peter's subordinates getting to work out for actually trying to reboot the system to get it back under their control. And we see some of the demons working to actually get the system back under their control as well. And Peter goes on to relay that the ones you put to sleep instead of killing will wake up soon. So yeah. Actually, I thought they were actually going to kill them rather than put them to sleep, unless Peter anticipated this and actually had an antidote placed in that room just in case something like this would happen. But anyway, yeah, it seems to be implying that Peter was aware that they were actually trying to be killed, so he was like, okay, so we're going to actually have an antidote in there, so that if they do try to kill you, it will just be brushed off and it will be like you're just hibernating or you're just being knocked out for a while. But anyway, Peter goes on to say, "At the Imperial capital, Songju and Musica were captured 3 days ago, and their execution will begin soon." And this actually just completely shocks Emma to her core, as she just flashes back to all the times that Songju and Musica have actually been so nice to her and actually saved her life on more than multiple occasions, and to think that because of their actions they're actually going to be killed because of what they set out to do. And again, I love this dichotomy and this dilemma that's going on in Emma's mind, and just how even though she can save some friends, there are some friends that she can't actually be saved. And this is something that I really wish was hammered in more to Emma time and time again. And the reason why I say this is because it really could add some more layers to Emma's character about whether or not she is worthy to actually be a leader, if all she's going to do is prevent one action only for the consequences of that action to escalate even further and cause so much more death and destruction that she doesn't want to actually happen. And this is just shaking her to a core, because she does actually see them as friends, even though they're on the other side of enemies. Like, she doesn't care about that. They've saved them, so now she actually thought she returned the favour, but as you can see, like their actions and actually just leave them to actually be in the royal capital without thinking about the consequence of what could actually happen if word got out to the demons outside the royal capital of what could actually happen to them. But anyway, Peter goes on to say, the citizens saved by evil blood have already been killed. And again, this shocks Dawn, Gilda and Ayashi, and basically it shocks everyone, as Peter goes on to say, under the guidance of the entire clan, the 4 great farms and the retainers of the 5 regiment houses have joined to create a council to overthrow the government. So they're basically creating a world government with Peter standing at the top. He's basically Ian Sama at this point. Which is fair comparison because he claims to be the one that's actually ruining the world. But anyway, the point is, like, they're just like in absolute shock because they went through so much shit in the royal capital and the battle against the 5 regiment houses to try and better free the demon world, that the situation has just made it a whole lot worse on their front, and they're like, oh my god, what have we done? Peter carries on his message and says, I'll revive Lambda 2. Moving forward, those spoiled top class farms will be demolished, and I'll centralise all of them in a Lambda system. I won't let the children have dreams, hopes, their own wills or futures. Rebels like you will never be born. It will be a peaceful paradise. I have to thank you, for the world will change by look to the future I want. And again, you just see the smug grin on Peter's face, again showing like the complete god complex he has at this point, because he's like, oh, all the 5 regiment houses and the queen are dead. Okay, so if we execute the ones that are possibly going to be potential future kids, then we can basically take over the world here and dominate the demon world, and we can basically have it in place, the promise that we've had for thousands and thousands, not thousands of years, for like 1,000 years, for like hundreds and hundreds of years, and nothing's going to stop me at this point from achieving my status of becoming a god and ruling over everyone with an iron fist and basically saying like, yeah, I'm going to create mutant kids who are just like, okay master, like those types of humans, and basically just like demolish anyone that disagrees with me. As Peter's subordinate says, the system is restored, all that's left is removing the restrictions. He commands them to do it, but as they are trying to do it, the subordinate mentions that he has a triple password lock on it as well, and this is where we get Vincent's like smug counter attack, like basically the fuck you to Peter himself by saying, yes, try figuring it out. I planned for this exact situation just in case. So basically, Vincent kind of like had a backup plan. So again, I love like the back and forth like chess game that's going on here. It's like, oh, you have one up. Okay, I anticipate your one up. Oh, so you had a one up, but I anticipate something for that. Oh, so you had a one up for that. Okay, well I anticipate that. Okay, so I had an even more backup plan for that one up of you one up of me because I knew you would one up me in the first place. It kind of like just gets in your mind, like there's thinking that everyone had a backup for a backup for a backup for a backup just in case the enemy, just in case the other side did something that went against their plan. They could back up on that front, and I love this as well. Like Vincent's like, yeah, I figured this out. I figured something like this would happen, and in case we got captured, I had this put in place so that even if you did get the system back up and you tried to figure out the password, you would still have a triple lock to deal with. And yeah, even no matter what you do to me, I'm not going to tell you. And that's basically what happens. As Peter goes, what a hassle. Like, he's like, oh my god, I can't believe I have to deal with this bullshit as well. And as he looks down to Vincent, he just points his gun at him. It's like, what a hassle. Give me the password. But Vincent just straight up says, no. And again, Vincent would do that because he's determined no matter what, even if it's at the cost of his life, he will see this mission through to the end, and he will not betray Norman. And this is like the ultimate trust that he has on Norman, that Norman needs to succeed in his plan. So he's like, even though Vincent's not denying the password, Peter's still threatening him, and it's like, but it's like even if Vincent dies, that's still not going to solve anything because Peter's not going to have the password. So it's kind of like, he kind of like has a one up on Peter here. So it's like, yeah, you can kill me, but if you kill me, then you don't get the password, and even if I die, I don't care because Norman is going to succeed in his mission, and I've made sure that he is actually going to do this. As he goes on to say, hey, you can't figure it out. That's why you're threatening me. Serves you right. I'll never tell you. And you just see like the look on face of just like from Vincent. He gives the I won bitch face. as he said, as he's like, yeah, you can't figure it out, and I'm not going to tell you, so yeah, screw you, fuck you, I win. And he goes on to say, boss, everyone, can you hear me? That's the situation. We still have time and the chance to win. It's not over. Shoot, defeat the enemy before you and complete the mission. Don't mind us. We can't leave the future to these guys. And he turns to Nigel, like, sorry Nigel, but Nigel's like, it's all good. So kind of like Nigel knows the situation as well, and Nigel doesn't care as well. And it's like, yeah, don't care about us, just complete your mission, just shoot them, and don't worry about us. As Emma starts to protest, we see Norman just step in before she can, I don't believe it, is it Emma? Yeah, it's Emma. Emma goes wait first, and then Norman's like, no, we're all going to survive together. So it's like kind of like Emma's influence is kind of passed on to Norman, and in the sense that he wants them to survive because they deserve a future just as much as he does. But we get into looking at Vincent's psyche as he says, sorry boss, I referred you as a god. Just like Cecil says, I want to depend on you. The strongest you were, the stronger you were, the stronger I felt as well. So again, Vincent owes a lot to Norman for basically saving his life, and despite, again, like I said, despite Norman initially going against what they initially set out to do, Vincent still followed him, and he still followed his plan, and he believed in Norman, and he believes that Norman can get everyone out of this situation because of how much grandeur he's actually built himself up to be. And I think this is actually going to start coming back to bite Norman in the ass, of just because he's built himself up to be like this resonant god figure. He doesn't see like the consequences of that, and he might feel a bit like, I'm still not sure if I can be like the leader that I built myself up to be if any of my subordinates actually die because of me fighting for my cause. But like, for instance, sake, he does not care. It's like, no matter what happens to us, as long as your mission succeeds, that's all that matters. And he goes on to continue saying, that's right, as it turned out, I was scared too. Ultimately, I want to guide you to victory as a friend. This is what I want. This is what I want. Keep going, Norman. And I love that, because it's like now Vincent's starting to see, like, yes, Norman has flaws as well, and he's scared as well, but he's still pulled Phil for them, and he still believed in them, and he still believed that they could make a difference in the world and get out there. And I think Vincent is starting to see it as like, no, Norman is not a god, he's a friend, and I am willing to like put my life on the line to actually make sure that he actually gets out of this alive. And Vincent actually makes the ultimate sacrifice as he doesn't reveal anything to Peter, and Peter's like, I have enough of this, and he just shoots Vincent. And it's pretty much from what is actually understood here, is because we just see blood just dripping down, that this is actually the end of Vincent. And he went out like a champ, I would say. If this is actually the end of Vincent, if this is Vincent's demise, then he went out like a champ. He went out like a boss, basically. It's like, yeah, I've won up you, screw you, so even if you kill me, you're still not going to get the password. And it was like, fine, you wish. And he was like, don't worry about me, Norman, you need to focus on your mission, keep going, just keep moving forward. So yeah, if that's the case, he went out like a boss, a motherfucking boss. And as Norman is looking on in complete shock as he just hears the sound of a gunshot, and we see Vincent just lying down in a pool of his blood, Peter's like, I'm sick of this. Why don't any of you understand? Why do you all disobey me? I am your creator. I am your dad. So again, going back to that God complex that Peter has, he thinks that just because they were born into a world where he's like the ruler over it, basically the king of the world, because he's the leader of the Ritari clan, so to speak, and he governs like everything in the world, including the humans and the demons. He sees them and it's like, yeah, you're not independent. You're not independent people. You're my children. You're my children. I'm your dad. So basically, I can do whatever I want with you. But yeah, you still disobey me. You still have your own will, and it's like, I'm sick and tired of this. Just come back to me. you have no way of defeating me. And I love that about just like his arrogance that he has on him. But again, I love that he is not playing around here. It's like he is serious. If he wants them dead, he's gonna have them dead, even if he has to kill them himself. And this was proven when he pretty much killed Vincent. I mean, we don't actually see Vincent properly dead, but it's pretty much implied from this chapter that yes, Vincent is actually dead. But anyway, Peter carries on and says, if there were no farms, if the retired clan wasn't around, you wouldn't have been born, you wouldn't have been fed well, raised and provided for, yet you rose against the farm, escaped, and now you come back to destroy us. How foolish and disrespectful. And again, that's why I say he has this god complex. Like, okay, so if there were no retired clan, if there was no farms or anything, you guys wouldn't be here. So basically, in some sick, twisted way, I am your dad, I am your creator. Like, he does not see them as their individual people. He just sees them as pieces of meat, pieces of money that that he wants to profit off and wants to make himself much more profitable and much more of a god figure. And he's like, yeah, without us here, you wouldn't be here. And while that is true, that they were still raised as humans themselves, and they still have their own independent thoughts and they have their own emotions. Yeah, he didn't quite figure it. I don't think he quite figured out what would actually happen if there were people who were actually willing to rebel against the system, if they ever found out that this was actually a facade in of itself. And this is where Peter really loses it, and he just gives like the creepy, like bulgy eyes, like he goes batshit insane at this point and says, I'm sick of this rebelliousness. Those eyes, they piss me off too. Why won't you admit defeat? It's fine. You're all just defects anyway. Kill them all. As he's like just like saying like, don't care about all of this. Just kill them all. Get rid of them all. But as he proceeds to actually almost shoot Nigel, he like stands in shock and he looks around. And he sees like all his opponents are either knocked out or dead at this point. As we see a gun pointed to his face, pointing to him, and he's like, Dad, you can't be serious. As we see, I believe, Oliver. So it's Oliver did it. So yeah, basically they were like, yeah, Vincent's right, and they just shot everyone, and they basically made their way over here. So it was like Oliver's group that did that. Yeah, because Norman isn't here, so it's like Oliver's group and Don's group, they just like obeyed Vincent. It's just like, yeah, Vincent's right, and they just shot everyone, and they made their way over here as Oliver has a gun pointed directly to Peter's head, and he's like, Dad, you can't be serious. You're not our father. Like they did a Star Wars reference here. You're not our father. That's not true. That's impossible. And that's where the chapter ends. So overall, it was a pretty decent chapter, and it just shows just how much of a psychopath Peter actually is. Like, he thinks, like, in his sick, twisted mind, because his family created the promise, and it was passed down through his generations. Therefore, he believes that he's basically like the celestial dragons from One Piece. Like, he's the governing body that controls this world. So he basically means, like, I can do whatever I want with the people of the world. I don't care who they are. Because of my family and because of my lineage, they were born into this world. They were raised under my guidance, under my property and everything like that. So therefore, they are my property. Basically, anything in his property, basically anything that lives in his property is his property as well, or basically his creation. And it's like, why are you guys just like rebelling against me all the time? I'm your father, I created you. But like, this is where Oliver just sticks it to. It's like, you're not our father because a father would not do the things that you're doing right now. And this is why we have no crimes with killing you and your subordinates. So anyway, guys, that is it. I have no idea where the next chapter is going to go, whether this will actually reveal that Peter has infused himself with some sort of demon mythology, and he like transforms into like some sort of demon-like creature. If that actually happens, I will be, honest to God, shocked that, oh my God, I can't believe I actually called that. But if it does happen, I will honestly do a called that shit dance, basically, the same way that I called Sonju be related to the royal family. But it wouldn't surprise me the size that Peter has actually infused himself with some sort of like demon blood, and therefore he has some sort of demon powers in of himself. Or maybe he is a demon himself and he's not part of the retired clan, it's just a facade. Either one, he's either fused himself with demon DNA or he's a demon himself. Pick your poison. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and subscribe to the Anime Burritos YouTube, Twitter, Discord, all that jazz. And this will be Lush and Luke signing off. Later, guys.